This is Mac OS Ken.
A call for change from the DOJ, Apple Card calls in sick, and checking out some Apple things. It's Tuesday, the 15th of June, 2021. I'm Ken Ray, and this is news from Mac OS Ken, brought to you by yours truly and sponsored by the Business Movers podcast from Wondery. Catch up now on Business Movers Season 5, The Enlightenment of Steve Jobs. This show is also sponsored by Fundrise, the future of real estate investing. Today, a truly diversified portfolio can include more than the traditional mix of stocks, bonds, and mutual funds. It can include private real estate as well. You may think you don't qualify, or maybe you think you can afford such an investment. With Fundrise, you do, and you can. Fundrise provides access to diversified portfolios of private real estate to all investors with their industry-leading, easy-to-use platform. It really is simple. You can see what projects you're into, how your investments are doing, get updates, and add to your position, all through the Fundrise app. I like the app because it lets me see what my investment is doing anytime, anywhere. Whether you're looking to add stable cash flow via dividends or prefer long-term growth through appreciation, Fundrise makes investing in private real estate as easy as investing in stocks, bonds, or mutual funds. See for yourself how 130,000 investors have built a better portfolio with private real estate. It takes just a few minutes to get started. Go to fundrise.com/macOSKen today. That's FUNDRISE, fundrise.com/macOSKen, fundrise.com/macOSKen. We heard over the weekend that Apple was changing the way it handles requests from law enforcement for user information. Now we're hearing law enforcement will change the way it asks. We did the first part of this story yesterday, so I'll try to be quick. Basically, Apple says it didn't pick up on the fact that the Department of Justice appeared to be targeting Democratic members of the House of Representatives with data requests in 2018 because the requests came in a deluge. A piece from Engadget had Apple indicating that one subpoena from February 2018 demanded 109 identifiers, 73 of them phone numbers, and the rest email addresses. To address that, Apple says it changed its dealings with the DOJ. Quoting a piece from Apple Insider, Apple said it began to enforce limits on legal orders for data after the government started to ask for information on more than 100 accounts in a single request, the report said. The new rule was put in place sometime after the Trump administration's leak investigation and restricts requests to 25 identifiers per subpoena. There was a lot more to all of that. If you missed it, I would encourage you to read reporting over the last several days from the New York Times or listen to yesterday's Mac OS Ken. It's not exhaustive, but it will tell you more. As I said, Apple says it's changed its ways. Now the DOJ says it has as well. Or it will. Apple Insider highlights a report from the Wall Street Journal that has Attorney General Merrick Garland trying to head off potential abuses of power in the future. The piece quotes Garland as saying, "There are important questions that must be resolved in connection with an effort by the department to obtain records related to members of Congress and congressional staff. Consistent with our commitment to the rule of law, we must ensure that full weight is accorded to separation of powers concerns moving forward. To that end, Garland has directed Deputy Attorney General Lisa Monaco to look into the issue. Specifically, the piece says she is to evaluate and strengthen the department's existing policies and procedures for obtaining records of the legislative branch." Apple Card spent Monday on another of its anti-spending sprees. Just under 2 weeks ago, Apple's virtual credit card passed about 6 hours offline. Mondays was a harder sleep in some ways. Cult of Mac ran a piece outlining what was then an ongoing issue. Starting 3:30 a.m. on the East Coast, half past midnight on the West Coast Monday morning, some users were unable to make in-store purchases with Apple Card using Apple Pay. Only some people, only in stores, and only Apple Card. The rest of Apple's system status page was green and pristine on Monday, but virtual green was buggy for over 24 hours. In fact, as of this writing, approaching 2 a.m. on the East Coast, the Apple Card issue shows as ongoing. Speaking of shopping, or not being able to, let's tour and tear through a few offerings from Apple. Some M1 iMacs seem to be showing up with issues. Nothing that'll keep them from working. You just might want to tilt your head a little. According to a piece from Mac Rumors, some M1 iMacs appear to have a manufacturing defect that causes the display to be mounted on the stand in a way that's not perfectly aligned, leading to a crooked display. It's fine. Just tilt your head a little. Mac Rumors points to 2 reports from consumers with the issue. Then there is the site's own iMac. The site says their videographer had noticed the iMac was crooked and assumed it was a problem with his desk, but it appears that may not be the case. It's fine. Just tilt your camera a little. There are 7 screws holding the iMac's display to the mount, according to the report, and the manufacturing issue does not appear to be user-fixable. How pervasive the problem is and what Apple might do about it are both unclear at this time. If truly wireless is your thing, but a pair of AirPods isn't, Apple's got something else to offer. After a seemingly interminable series of leaks, iDownload blog says Apple's subsidiary Beats has officially announced and placed on pre-order Beats Studio Buds. Features include a flush with the ear design, no AirPods stem nor ear hooks as on previous Beats, active noise cancellation, 8 hours of operation on a single charge, black, white, or red color options, matching case colors for those, and a USB-C port on the case for charging. The earbuds will be available directly from Apple, as well as from Amazon and Best Buy. iDownload blog says pre-orders are available now in the US and Canada. They should land in your hands or in your ears on Thursday, the 24th of June. If you want to buy something from Apple that won't break the bank and almost can't show up defective, how about a new case for your existing iPhone? Mac Rumors says Apple on Monday released new silicone cases for the whole of the iPhone 12 line, 3 colors from which to choose. Mac Rumors describes them this way. Sunflower is a bright yellow shade, cloud blue is a soft light blue, and electric orange is a bright orange that's darker than the kumquat color and more orange than pink citrus. First, electric orange is my Tangerine Dream cover band, and second, sunflower is the bright yellow I wanted my iPhone 11 to be. It pops like an electric orange, but brighter. Up for order now, the new silicone cases will run buyers $49 each. More news in a moment, but first a word from the Business Movers podcast from Wondery. From the makers of the hit series Business Wars comes the next season of Business Movers, a weekly podcast that explores the legendary and controversial career of Steve Jobs. Business Movers has hit a lot of really great topics already, from the rise of Disney World to the fall of DeLorean. So many iconic names with so many stories to be told. Such is the case with Season 5 of Business Movers, The Enlightenment of Steve Jobs. Starting with his ouster from Apple, The Enlightenment of Steve Jobs looks at the CEO's time outside of the company and his time becoming the leader who would eventually save it. These may be facts you know, but Business Movers brings them to you as a story. Personally, I like the style. And you can hear it now. Listen to Business Movers, The Enlightenment of Steve Jobs on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or you can listen 1 week early and ad-free by joining Wondery Plus in the Wondery app. Wondery. Feel the story. I feel like I need a flowchart for this. iDownloadBlog says Apple has seeded the third betas of the next updates to the current versions of its various operating systems to developers. That's seed number 3 of iOS 14.7, iPadOS 14.7, macOS 11.5 Big Sur, watchOS 7.6, and tvOS 14.7. Of course, developers last week got the first betas of iOS 15, iPadOS 15, and all the next versions of Apple's various operating systems. Seriously, I feel like I need a flowchart. From those on the cutting edge to those lagging behind a bit, Mac Rumors has word of an update for the iOS 12ers out there. According to the site, Apple on Monday released new iOS and iPadOS 12.5.4 updates with the new software aimed at older devices that are unable to run the iOS 14 update that's available on modern devices. I would argue that even the oldest iPad is a modern device, but I take their point. The piece has Apple saying that the update addresses 3 vulnerabilities that could lead to arbitrary code execution. 2 of them that affected WebKit may have been actively exploited. One of these vulnerabilities was fixed in iOS 14.6, and the other 2 are likely to be addressed in iOS 14.7. Fingers crossed, I guess. Anyway, if you're rocking an iOS 12 device, to the updates get thee. And quickly. When it comes to future updates, it looks like Apple's giving users an either-or choice. I saw this story last week, then somehow lost track of it. According to a piece from Apple Insider, users won't have to leave iOS 14 to keep up with security updates, even once iOS 15 is released. In a preview of iOS 15 last week, Apple said, iOS now offers a choice between 2 software update versions in the Settings app. You can update to the latest version of iOS 15 as soon as it's released for the latest features and most complete set of security updates, or continue on iOS 14 and still get important security updates until you're ready to upgrade to the next major version. That's really cool for people who simply don't want to go to iOS 15, though it's hard to imagine that's who this is actually for. This seems like an excellent option for businesses who have in-house apps built for the current operating system. Of course, they want the latest security patches, but may not be ready with internal updates the day said patches come out. Pretty cool. Staying on the update train, something for the boot campers out there. Engadget says Apple has added support for Windows Precision Touchpad drivers to its latest version of Boot Camp, addressing a big issue with Windows 10 Mac installations. Apparently, the update adds in improvements that have been available for about 8 years. It's not an area in which I tread. If you do, good news. The Boot Camp 6.1.15 update should make your trackpad more responsive in Windows. And finally today, the last of Apple's first 4 shows finally has a second season start date. With the second seasons of Dickinson and For All Mankind in the books, and with the second season of See recently announced, The Morning Show is finally waking from its COVID-induced slumber. Engadget says Apple has set a date for the Season 2 premiere and dropped a trailer for it as well. Hassan Minhaj and Juliana Margulies joined the cast this time around, though I only spotted Margulies in the trailer, at least as far as the newcomers are concerned. You can catch the trailer now on YouTube. Personally, I cannot wait for the second season to start, except for the part where we all have to wait. The morning show kicks in again on the 17th of September. macOS Ken, brought to you by me and sponsored by Fundrise, the future of real estate investing. Learn more at fundrise.com/macOSCan. This show is also sponsored by the Business Movers podcast from Wondery. Catch Business Movers Season 5, The Enlightenment of Steve Jobs, on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or listen a week early and ad-free through Wondery Plus in the Wondery app. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media, online at backbeatmedia.com. You can reach me a couple of ways. info@macoscan.com or call 716-780-4080. Until next time, that is news from macOS Ken. I'm Ken Ray.
Ciao.